At four main developmental stages of life, there are four momentous sit-down conversations parents typically have with their children. In childhood, it's about strangers. In adolescence, it's about the birds and the bees. By middle age, the discussion is financial planning and a will. In the senior stage of life, the parent-adult-child conversation about caretaking is equally important. But aging parents are less likely to have this important talk. There are reasons for their reluctance.
The reality of mortality is difficult for the parent as well as the child. And we sometimes hate to face that mortality. And so sometimes we don't make the arrangements that we should or have those conversations that we should early enough. When Daddy got sick, the reality was that he couldn't stay at home. And it was very difficult to even think about having that conversation because daddies don't die.
Every day, 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65. Soon, this tsunami of seniors will need to think about specialized nursing care they may need that their adult children will not be able to provide. An estimated 70% of Americans will at some point in their lifetime require skilled nursing care, according to the Department of Health and Human Services. Reluctance to have the care conversation has consequences.
You know, we don't sit around the dining room table and have the conversation about what your wishes are as you age. The consequences of that are that as your loved one ages, as my dad aged, would I really know what he wanted? Or not knowing, would I later feel guilty for having made decisions that maybe were totally opposed to what he wanted?
A need for conversation about the gap between hospital and home, between life on your own and the end of life, was identified by the American Healthcare Association. The AHCA conducted research studies into attitudes and beliefs about the rehabilitation care profession overall. Among the findings, they discovered misperceptions about nursing homes, skilled nursing care, and long-term care.
As we traveled across the country doing one of the most in-depth studies on this topic ever done, we uncovered some very interesting things. First, it's one of the most negative perceived industries I've ever studied. But what was more interesting was people didn't have their own personal experience. They based their perception often on their grandparents. Secondarily, they're all very guilt-ridden. Everybody feels like they should take care of their family. But they don't feel like they have the skills necessary to do it. So they're trapped and they don't want to have a conversation about it. The good news is baby boomers don't want to be cared for by their loved ones. They want the best care possible. And that's the care that's available in the skilled facilities today. So if you go and visit today, you will find a facility full of skilled caregivers who want to get you healthy and home again.
A website was created to correct the misperceptions and to help facilitate the care conversations seniors should be having at this life stage. CareConversations.org is a user-friendly, one-stop resource site for consumers about all aspects of the caregiving sector. The site provides professional, unbiased information on caregiving expectations, options and tools available, and locates facilities throughout the country. Personal stories told on video by peers, seniors, and caregivers are also on the website.
You know, talking to a family member about the type of care they might want to receive is a difficult conversation to start. But on the website, you can find lots of examples of how people have gotten that conversation started. In addition, you can learn about all the different types of care and services available in today's skilled facilities, and you can get tips for how to choose which one is right for you. We also have an expert on caregiving there on the site that you can interact with on how to start the conversation, how to select a facility, and how to make that transition smooth for everybody.
Because of medical reasons, I could no longer provide some care for my mom at home, and so she did become a resident over here in a skilled facility. And even though she had told me all of her life she never wanted to be in a nursing home, it was something absolutely horrible to her. We found when she did become a resident here in the skilled facility, her life became so much more rich and rewarding and full, so much more so than it would have been had she remained at home with me providing some limited care for her. She's happy here, she's content. The activities really keep her engaged with the world, and it's been a very good move for my mom.
Because of my profession, many of my friends call me when they first start having to have these conversations with their parents, and often they feel very alone. And I assure them that you don't have to feel alone, because many people go through this every single day, and there are resources available that can help you find the best care options for you. And many people don't realize that with the specialized services that are available in skilled nursing facilities, often people are able to return home even more independent than they were before their event.
Baby boomers tend to consider themselves the active, youthful, age-defying generation. Getting them to plan their senior care with family may require the wisdom of a website. For more information and resources, visit careconversations.org.